All right, have fun and please talk
Shoot.
about topics that you want to talk about. Make friends. It's what the group is for. And never forget that learning languages is one of your objectives too. Hi guys. Um, I'm going to prepare for just a minute because I right now was eating and didn't have too much time to prepare today. Like I said, I was doing the egg drop project and a lot of stuff was going on. And just as I said, I was really frustrated about only having one day of weekend and basically story of what happened these 2 months. And today we will still continue our language learning journey. And if I see there's a lot of new people here, so I'm going to make a self-introduction for myself so that you guys know me better, and also you guys can tell me about your objectives in English, Chinese learning. But please, well, just we'll keep it short and concise because we don't have too much time. All right, hi everyone. I'm Jerry. I'm your host and also your professor, I guess, in this Chinese class. It is a basic Chinese class, so everything we learn here will be probably the most basic. Well, now perhaps not. We're not going to learn hellos anymore because Sunhai and Angela has already learned a lot. We're not going to commence from 00, but perhaps 0.1 if you guys know that. And also, the way that I'll be teaching is we'll have some materials and I'm basically going to teach. And if you guys have questions, we'll answer them and also we'll focus on just basic things. But right now, we're going to learn practical things and also try to get you guys a good pronunciation because a lot of people ignore that. And while you're only beginning, the pronunciation is the easiest to solve. But once you have furthered in your language studies, if you still don't have a good pronunciation, it will be harder and harder to change. I know some of you are really serious about language learning, while others are trying it for fun, and I think it's a class for the two kind of people. But we're here to have fun and learn languages, so don't worry about that. And if anyone has anything to say for their Chinese learning or want to make a short introduction, please do that while I prepare.
I'll say a little bit. I My name is Raka. I am from Ecuador. I'm currently in Morocco. As you can see in the background, there's a nice little wood thing. I am going to go to China next year, hopefully. And my Chinese is terrible, so I have to start learning. And this is really cool that I found this really, really, really randomly, and I'm happy to be here and learn some Chinese.
All right.
That's it.
So this is what
What are
we're
you
going
doing
to
in
do.
Morocco? What are you doing in Morocco?
Just traveling.
Oh, okay.
Just
Hi. How long have you been there?
4 days.
Oh, you just
你
got
你觉你
there.
你讲
Yeah.
了吧？
What language? What language do they speak there?
I speak Arabic and French, and basically that's it.
Oh, okay.
Well, something that's really funny is that I have a friend who is French and is traveling in Morocco. Well, was traveling in Morocco to get his vaccines because that's the only place outside of of his own country, in his area that offers Chinese vaccines, which is what is necessary to enter China, and he is coming to China too. I mean, a lot of people is coming to China, I guess. A lot of people I know, at least.
Nice.
Well, nice to meet you. And oh, right, I forgot one other point. And myself presentation. I am a native Chinese speaker. I also speak English, as you see right now, and I speak French and Spanish up to a certain level. I'm not yet native, but I can say that I'm sort of proficient and I can handle myself in all sorts of situations too. Right.
Right.
All right. Okay, I am going to start in just a bit. Well, I mean, we'll have this sort of material, but we're not going to follow that, not completely, because you see, it's just the material, and we don't have to follow it completely. All right. One moment, and we will share screen and be done. Uh, be okay with this. One moment. 爸，你把你那边权限放开，然后能不能帮我把这个把它转一个角度？行，我有点，这个转一个角度，不是这个照片转一个角度，我忘了，你帮我看一下，你帮我看一下，你帮我看一下，我点不了嘛。Alright, sharing my screen now. So, welcome everyone to today's class, and while I share my screen, I'll see like this right here, and you can see that these are all long sentences, but we're not going to do those not completely. We're starting with the easy stuff, and we'll ignore much of the material to make it a bit easier. And also, so today is introductions, but because we already had done like basic introductions today, so today we're going to do further a bit into that. All right. So can anyone here make an introduction, like in English or in French or Spanish for me, that you think is the most standard introduction? Right, just make a standard introduction in your native language or in a language that I can understand. Sunhai,
Yeah.
can you make an introduction? Like not in Chinese, but just show me what an introduction is and show everyone what an introduction is. We'll start there.
Expression of myself.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. 你好吗? I'm originally from Korea, but and I've been living in New York for past 45 years. I'm more like New Yorker by now. I'm more comfortable speaking English than Korean, but because Korean is my native language, I'm still fluent and I can speak it fluently if I have to talk to them. And yeah, that's where I am. I guess.
All right, so basically that's where we're going to start today. First by explaining this 你好吗, which is hello. I'm sure everyone knows this to a certain degree, but if not, I'm just going to write this here. 你好. Right, and after this, we usually do like my name. 我的名或者我叫会更简单一些. So I'm just speeding over this because we've already talked about this before. 我叫 Jerry, which is my name. Sorry, forgot an R. 我叫 Jerry. And after these, so this is the basic introduction. 你好, which means hello, and 我叫 Jerry. And 我 means just me. 叫 means name. So me name Jerry. So it's kind of hard to explain the logic, but it's just Chinese grammar we're talking about here. All right. Can everyone say 你好 and 我叫 something for me?
你好，我叫How do you spell 我叫 in pinyin? WOCAO?
Oh, so I've already written it down here. 我叫, so it's 我 and GIAO with the fourth tone.
Okay. Okay.
So anyone?
你好，我叫金先栋，很
Okay.
高兴认识你们。
So I know right now that everyone is familiar with this now. So we're going to rush over to the next step, which is explaining your nationality, which seems to be the case when you're either meeting people internationally or when you're visiting a country that speaks Chinese. 我是什么人? Now this is where it gets interesting, and many of you might know this, but 我是 I'm just going to write this and explain some more here. 我是什么什么人? 什么 means what or just gibberish. Anyway, 我是 means I am. 我是美国人. 我是中国人. 我是厄瓜多尔人 or something. So you can just say this in a mannerism that explains where you are. For example, Sunhai would say, 你好，我叫 Sunhai，我是韩国人。
Ah. How do you say Korean in China? Korean. I am Korean. So what's your
So I'm just going to list everyone's nationality here. So Han.
Han? Cool.
So basically, the guo is almost all the same, but just in the main group, there was someone from sorry, 吉什么吉斯坦 and well, sometimes there's 吉尔吉斯坦. Sometimes there are exceptions, but mostly it follows a pattern of a word, and afterwards there is this guo, which means country.
Right.
And
Hangu. You call it Hangu. But in Korean language, I can say, when I say I'm a Korean, I say I am Hanguk saram. That means Korean people, Korean origin.
right, and also for Raqqa, it will be a bit difficult because your country's is pronounced
Ecuador.
Hi.
Ecuador.
Can anyone hear me?
Yeah. Hi, Richard.
Ecuador.
I'm very sorry. I just want to, sorry to interrupt. You know, I was originally in breakout room 5, and I'm very desperate for someone foreign, to go into our room because it's very, we are 4 Chinese people speaking English to each other. It's weird.
So okay, I get it. I'll try to help you with your situation right here, but understand that
So,
this group is right now what we're doing is teaching people basic Chinese, and everyone will return, including the foreigners, into the breakout rooms in half an hour. And Richard, I'm sorry, but for this 30 minutes, there are a lot of foreign people who are trying to learn Chinese, and we're trying to give them the opportunity of doing so too. So please understand, and this is the only opportunity that people here can learn Chinese if they don't already have somewhat of a high level. And Richard, so I'm sorry, but I'm afraid that you'll have to go back to your room and speak in Chinese for half an hour.
oh no. Oh my goodness. We can actually teach basic Chinese as well, I've taught,
I
Chinese.
understand,
listening.
and Richard, sorry to cut you off
No,
here,
I'm
but
not
please
arguing.
return
I'm
to
sorry.
your
I'm not
room.
arguing. I'm just saying,
And
all right?
I
I'm not
have
trying
to
to
say
argue with
that
you.
if you want to teach basic Chinese, please next time volunteer or something else, and perhaps we'll accept this volunteering. But right now, please go back to your room. All right,
All
let's
right.
continue.
All right. So goodbye.
Bye. And this follows a pattern of something and then your country. For example, China is 中国, and America is 美国.
Me.
美
So
国.
how do you write pinyin this go? Han, how do you write that pinyin for this word go? 中国 or 美国?
Sorry, I haven't written that
You
down
write
yet.
it in pinyin.
So it's this, 国.
Okay, got it.
Alright, so everyone from beginning with Sunhai, can you say these 3 sentences? 你好，我叫 Jerry, 我是中国人.
Okay, 你好，我叫 Sunhei, 我是韩国人.
And Raka?
Okay. 你好，我叫尼卡诺尔，我是厄瓜多尔
Yes.
人。
Okay, Sinton.
你好，我叫金先栋，我是韩国人。
Zoe, if you're listening. Oh, Zoe and Jiabao is here for I don't know, perhaps other reasons.
I'm here for I'm just interested in how foreigners learn Chinese.
All right. Okay. I didn't see that.
I want to say something to correct you. Maybe 厄瓜多尔 is the fourth term.
I think it's but I'll check that a bit later. 爸，帮我查一下，厄瓜多尔是鹅还是厄？厄瓜多尔还是厄瓜多尔？我知道，查一下。All right. Anyway. So this is basically the three things that we say when we're introducing yourselves. So first, 你好，我叫Jerry，我是什么人 and this is just saying where you're from. Sorry, some of you might get a bit bored, but we're going to get to more advanced a bit later. All right. So once you make your basic introduction, then you're going to get to some of the a bit more advanced stuff. For example, 我喜欢 something, and this is basically your hobby now. And 我喜欢 all right. If any, okay, so 我喜欢干什么？this is your basic type. And it's basically like 我喜欢怎么怎么. And so for those who already know this, try to read the pinging and try to correct your pronunciation, or at least try to perfect it, since for now I'm just going to be teaching this.
So what does this 我喜欢 mean?
Alright, so 我 is I, and 喜欢, the two words together, is like.
Okay.
For example, if you like football, it will be 我喜欢足球.
Okay.
So 足球 is football, and you can just basically add anything in there. So Raka, what is one of your hobbies? Yes, Raka, you're muted, and everyone, you can just leave yourselves not muted. You know, it's okay if you just stay silent and not say anything. You know, being muted isn't always great, and it will be a lot of trouble to get you unmuted if you are muted. And you know, you can just keep your mics open if there isn't like a loud noise, background noise or anything. So yeah.
Okay, 我喜欢juggler.
Ah. Um. Uh. I mean, I like juggling too, but you know, if you were to translate this in English, I would just say 杂耍.
杂耍，我喜欢杂耍。
So, 我喜欢杂耍, and you can also say something like I like traveling or I like something. So this is basically where you're going to say when you're doing an introduction. But because this is sort of interactive class, we'll solve some more problems if you guys are interested. What other things would you guys want to say if you're introducing yourself? Even advanced ones is okay. Hello?
我喜欢做运动。
Yes, 运动. So 运动 is just exercise, but 就是你想 you can be a bit more specific than that if you want to.
做跑步。
Oh, actually, so this is a bit strange, but 我喜欢做运动, and when you're so this is the difference between a noun and a verb. 运动 is a noun. So it should be 我喜欢做运动, but 跑步 is 跑 is sort of a verb, so it would be 我喜欢跑步 without the 做.
OK， 我明白了。
All right, okay. So anyone else who wants to dive deeper, and except for these four sentences, would anyone want to know different ones or have different words that they would like to translate that would fit in this category? Oh, and for Angela, so your country in Chinese is called 英国, so it's 英国. All right. So if and Angela, I know you weren't there for a moment, but can you try to introduce yourself in Chinese using these 4 sentences?
你好，我是Angela，我是
英国。
traveling
英国。So you would say 我是英国人。
英国人，我是英国人。
It's okay. And next you're going to speak a bit about your hobby, which is 我喜欢 and the thing that you do. So it's going to be 我喜欢运动, which means I like exercising, or 我喜欢足球, which means I like football or something. Anyway, so that's the basic expression. And like I said, I'm sure a lot of you are a bit more advanced than this. So is there other things that you want to speak about, but you can't due to your current Chinese level?
So how would I say? I'll say when I introduce myself to be more precise, I'll say 我是韩国 and I've been living in New York for the past 45 years. How would I say that?
So, an important word to introduce at this moment is this word, which means 但, which means but. And everyone knows how important of a word this can be. Like a lot of people, for example, me, use but every 2 sentences.
I don't want to use the word but.
I know. I'm just getting started. Sorry, Sunhai, too, but I know.
Use the word and.
So, and right here you can say 但我在美国住了很长时间. This is quite a complicated sentence, and you can simplify it a bit. Let me try simplifying it. 但我在
Very excited.
美国住很
Oh my God, so long.
Yeah, there isn't really a simple way to express this. But 但 like as I already explained, 我 which means I 在 at 美国 US and 住 live 很久了 a long time. And I'm going to write the
Okay.
pinyin.
Yeah.
等我自爱在美国住很 Alright, so that's a sentence that you might want to take a closer look at.
Okay.
So when you're introducing yourself, sometimes you would also not only speak about your hobbies, your nationality, but also your job, because your job can be a really good place to start. And so, when you're saying something about yourself, we usually use the sort of sentence structure 我是 something. So 我是 means I am, and afterwards you can say there's a 消防员, which means firefighter. 我是警察 police, and 我是 something something. For example, my mom is a teacher, so when my mom makes an introduction, she would say 我是老师. And if you're curious, these 2 words mean like old master separately, which means teacher in Chinese. Isn't that cool?
老师
老师. Oh, sorry. I wrote the pinyin wrong. 老师, which is 师 is in the first tone.
Lao Shu means teacher.
老师
Okay.
All right. And for a lot of you right now, so this is the basic introduction. And afterwards, Right now, since we are done with all of that, and I can see a lot of you are craving for some higher level stuff, so I'm going to get into some higher level stuff. So I've promised you once before that I would do some grammar stuff, and today is the time we do that. Understand that in Chinese we have basically three words that sort of indicate the time. Now listen closely because this part is going to be somewhat hard. I'm going to explain as clearly as I can, but there will be some parts that you guys might not understand, and if you guys don't, please stop me and ask me, because if you are confused, it's probable that other people are somewhat confused, semi-confused, or just not understand at all. All right, these are basically some of the words that are going to indicate the time tense in or the tenses in Chinese. As you can see here, 折了过要. You don't have to know how to pronounce those at the moment, but like make an example for me using the future tense, like in English or in the language that you know.
I will go to buy a piano today.
All right, I'll go buy a piano today. 我今天要买钢琴. So the 钢琴 part is it's just a noun, so we just ignore that for a moment. We start by having the I should have done a bit more research on this topic, but 我 is just our person, and I. And this indicates the time, and this could be next week if you want it to be next week, today, last week. We're going to talk about that in just a moment. 今天, which is today, and 要, this indicates is 要 indicates the future. 我要做什么东西，我要干什么 means I am going to do something. So this indicates sort of the future, and 买 means buy, and this is just the verb. And we don't. So in Chinese, we do not do what is the word in conjugations. We do not do conjugations. We don't do conjugaciones, and we don't do any of those to any of our verbs. We add extras, but we don't change the words themselves, nor the pronunciation, nor the anything, which makes it such a easier language to learn. Speaking for grammar than it is to do so for French and Spanish. All right. Anyway, and this is for the future tense too. We're going to also do another for like for the past tense. Anyone give me an example? Give me an example for a past tense.
我去过我的朋友家。
Oh, so this isn't exactly a past tense sentence, and 我去过我的朋友家. So this isn't exactly the. So what are you trying to express using this sentence, Sindon?
I went to
A friend's
the
house?
house of my friend. Yeah.
So if you're trying to express that sentence as clearly and as concisely in Chinese, it would be,
Okay.
我
我昨天去过我的朋友家。有朋友家。
Anyway, so 朋友家 it just means friends place. So we're going to ignore that just as we ignored 钢琴, which means piano. And 我昨天去我朋友家. And this, so 我 means I, and 昨天 indicates it's yesterday. And we're going to learn a whole bunch of these in just a sec. And 去 means go. 我朋友家, which means my friend's house. This means my. And 我 sometimes can mean like me too. It's a bit complicated quite there. But today we're here to learn the tenses, at least in not strictly speaking manner, but I believe I can do a good job explaining it. 我昨天去我朋友家, which means I went to my friend's house yesterday. And the important thing here is the word for time. Have you noticed that today, this today sort of matches up with yesterday? And this sort of connects, and basically, this is somewhat key to a certain type of sentence structure. And we have a lot of those too. For example, 如果 if I am going to say 我明天要去游泳, which means I'm going to swim tomorrow. 或者我下周 like I'm going to my friend's house. I'm going to the movie theater next week. It would be 我下周要去看电影. So 下周 is the key word, which means next week. All right. Anyway, so would anyone want to construct a sentence or try to construct a sentence with 下周? For this is a future tense sentence. Anyone want to try?
我下周要跟朋友玩游戏。
Great, great, great. And Sandon, do you know any other words that indicate tense?
Tense. I don't know.
All right, no problem. And I'm just going to list a few here so you guys know how to practice afterwards. But like I have already explained, 我昨天去我朋友家, for example, 玩游戏, which means play video games. Or 我昨天去我朋友家吃饭, which means have dinner or something. Yeah, it's not important, but basically, when you analyze a sentence starting with I, so it would be 我今天要买钢琴，我今天或者我明天，我后天。Those are just 我, which means I, plus the time indicating word. And 我今天要去游泳，我明天要去游泳. And this is for the future tense. 我前天. So when you're speaking in the past tense, it's a bit more like this. 我昨天去了我朋友家. I'm sorry, I didn't add this earlier, but it's actually here that it belongs here. When you're saying 我去了我昨天去了我朋友家. And like I said here, 了 actually indicates past tense. And 过 also means past tense. This is where it gets a bit complicated. And 要 indicates sort of present, future tense, and 这 means present continuous.
Can I ask a question?
All right.
So if you have two past tenses, is one distant past and one recent past? Or is one unfinished and one unfinished?
做过. Wait, this is a good question. One moment. 哎，把了和过真的让我想想。我做过了，它 这折了过的了和过都是代表就是做 past tense 的过去时用的，但是这两个在用的时候一般是有什么区别？而且它两个之间有没有两个好像是一般都是在一起出现的吧？就是他去过了。哦，一个是不是perfect past perfect 还是过去完美完整的？Okay, well, honestly,
It's
sorry about
okay.
this, but
It's
it's a
okay. We
question.
have 12 tenses, so if you only have 4, that's much easier than ours.
And yes, I would say that Chinese has much less tenses, and I mean, next time I'll talk to you guys about this, but I have the gut feeling that if you use the both of them together, it's going to be past perfect, and if you only use a single one of them, it's going to be just the past tense.
I see. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you. That answers my question, Jerry.
Okay, well, right now we're just going to wrap up a little bit by me just writing all the words that indicates time, and afterwards, so we're going to end the class, and I hope you've learned
Sorry,
something.
can I ask a question really quickly? Since I'm new, every Sunday at this hour there will be these lessons of 30 minutes, like every Sunday from now here in this link.
Yeah, basically, but we might change time in the future, but basically. And why?
Okay, perfect. Because do we have to register every time, or this is the link and we just enter here, same Zoom number, same password?
Well, I suggest because we might change times, I don't know,
See.
in the recent future, so to be sure to not miss any of our meetings, you could
Okay.
just join the meetup page and you can check on the meetup page to get the latest info. So, and
In
also
Eventbrite or what? Because I'm from Eventbrite. I'm not from the meetup page or.
Oh, okay. So, if you can access Meetup, I will send the Meetup link in the main session once we return there, and you can just
Yeah.
okay, press on there to get the latest info because
You.
some information that you get elsewhere might not be up to date.
Okay, perfect. Thank you very much because I didn't understood if it was something continuously at the same hour and everything and how to register. Thank you so much.
No problem.
Jerry, you didn't write this opinion. I mean, I'm guessing. I know Wall, Jintian today, Shabai, you wrote, well, you didn't write that opinion. Yeah, right.
Sorry. But what I'm writing here at this corner is just the tomorrow, today, and yesterday, and this pinging is for the first word as the tian is the same. So this
Right.
is where Chinese gets really easy because a lot of the times we just add a word before another word. For example, I mean today, yesterday. It's like in English, today and yesterday. It's the difference is the what do you call it again? But it has the same root, and in Chinese it's a lot more significant.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and after the days, we also have the weeks and the um 剩
Oh,
So
Jerry,
I'm writing.
you've missed an N from months. And there's
Always.
no E. MONTHS.
All right.
That's it.
So you would say 上个月. Actually, it's 上一周, 上个月. Oh, well, this is a bit difficult, but just have to remember it like this. And finally, we have the Nian, which means year. Don't worry because I'll be sending the notes as a picture in the main session, so you guys can download that, and you can also get the information in our Facebook group, which I will send the link to in a bit. And this is 去年、今年和明年. So you just add all of these words before the 月 and the 周 and the 年, which means a month, week, and year. 去 Alright, sorry guys, but we have to end the lesson here. I'm sure everyone else in the other groups are getting a bit frustrated too, and I hope you learned something today. So today we quickly went over a simple introduction, and also we just did a lot of things for the present tense and the past tense. And I hope that you guys got something from the lesson. I'll be sending the notes, as I said, into to multiple sites so you guys can get it, and also I'll be sending it as a GPG file or something in this group chat. Well, in the main session group chat in a bit. And thanks for coming. I'll see you guys next week, hopefully.
Okay.
谢谢，辛苦了。
不客气。I want to say one more word.
有一点。好。Alright, so I'm closing all rooms now. 好，把那个扣屏一下，然后发过去吧。那你在这儿靠一下吧，然后我给大家说。我就在这边说吧。Everyone should be returning in just a bit. Alright, hi everyone. Well, everyone will be returning shortly, and still, if you guys are waiting for the notes file, I'll be sending it to you in just a bit. I'm still trying to copy it, well, screen cut it. Still waiting for everyone else to come back, and then we'll have a few more rounds, and then the meeting will be over. Today is actually a school night, and it might be curious, but it is interesting. Cool. Hi everyone. Welcome back. Welcome.
Hi.
Hi. Hello.
Hi.
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 Hi, Jerry.
Hi. 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 Hi.
你是那个组织者吗？你
嗯哼。
是那个sorry，忘了你的名
我
字。
中文名是邓一阳。
嗨，你好。我真的，我第一次参加这个，我感觉自己是个哑巴。
就是需要练嘛。It's okay. Everyone, everyone will feel a bit hard at first, but you'll figure it out. Trust you. All right. So, hello everyone. I wish you a good afternoon, evening, or morning. I mean, wasn't that
Evening.
Yes, evening probably. Like, sorry guys, just a quick thing. I think there was a movie called the Sherman. No, not the Sherman Show. Like, what was the movie called? Like the movie where there was this person who was living life, like a television series where he was filmed from Truman
Oh, the
Show.
Sherman's
yeah.
word.
The Truman Show. Yeah, the
Oh,
Truman Show, in the end, and good morning, good night, and good day or something. There was a line there somewhere. I forgot. Anyway, uh,
Yeah, Jim Carrey.
My favorite movie, I know that. It says, in case we didn't see each other again, good morning, good evening, good night, something like that.
yeah, it was something like that. Just remember that. For some reason. All right. Oh, okay. And all right, and so right now I've heard like a sort of a complaint, sorta, and I'm just saying if someone wants to volunteer for the Chinese teaching job, you can try to volunteer, and we'll do sort of an interview thing, and if you pass, you can teach the class for your own reasons, and we have some requirements, but if there is anyone who wants to do that, you can do the interview by various means, but if there is anyone who just wants to teach the class and it is pretty good at teaching Chinese, they can talk to me. And also, in the second 30 minutes, a lot of the foreigners, a lot of the native English speakers will be gone from the meeting as a whole, and that is to be expected and is normal because a lot of these speakers want to learn Chinese, and this is the only period of time that they will get because they're not advanced enough in Chinese like Don or Daniel, who can speak and stand ground in the group. So please, if you guys don't really like talking to another non-native speaker, I'm sorry, but it will only be for half an hour, and I hope you guys can understand. Everyone has a hard time learning sometimes. So I really wish everyone can have a good time, and that also means we are caring for those people who are trying to learn Chinese hard and aren't able to find a start for it because either they didn't find a place for learning Chinese or some other reasons. So I hope that everyone can understand that. And remember when we were learning English for the first time, I believe there were much more resources and it was easier. But right now, us as a community is trying to improve the experience of newcomers and those who want to dive into the rich cultures of both the English and Chinese world. Anyway, I'll be getting everyone back into breakout rooms in a bit, but right now I'm having my dad trying to copy the file, and the file that today we had as we learned something in the Chinese group, and he'll just copy it, and it'll just take a minute. 好，爸，你帮我考一下。I've already sent that. And I'll be sending the Facebook group link too, and it'll just take a minute. 不是那个上面不用拍，只用拍下面这个就可以了，这下面这些就可以了。All right. Anyway, right now, if there is any other topics that you guys would want to talk about, this is the time. This is a place where you can share your information, make friends, and it's quite all right if you go.
Can I ask you a question, Jerry?
Yeah, sure.
How do you manage to learn so many languages in such a young age?
Well, Jesus. I always think about this. So you know how there are countries in Europe where the kids there just know several languages, and they aren't all native in them. They might not be very very proficient at them, but they know them. It will suffice, and they have pretty good pronunciation too. How do they do that? Well, they lived in an environment where they had perhaps several parents who speak multiple languages too, and because there is a lot of marriages between different countries, that increased, the sort of availability of language learning resources, which is their parents and their grandparents. For me, it was different, but I was able to learn these languages in an environment, and as I poured time into language learning, I managed to do it at a young age. But still, it's not really of any talent or anything. I don't really have a don, as they say in French. You know, don? You know, I don't have a don. I mean, if anyone knows that French word. Anyway, so that was that,
Thank
and
you.
that was basically my language learning training. So right now it's information sharing, news sharing, story sharing time. Anyone has anything for us?
Yeah, I'd like to say something just to the newcomers, well, to everybody. Jerry is amazing. I've had quite a few sessions with him, and he's taught me things that I could never have learnt myself. Well, I did try with another teacher before. This was online, but he works really hard. He's a genuine person, and I hope you'll support him because he deserves it. He's also very intelligent and he's multi-talented because all his languages, whichever language he uses, he's excellent.
Thanks.
So thank you for listening. Just wanted you newcomers especially to know that.
Yes.
Okay now. All right, I'll be right, and from now on, we're just going to use the basic Chinese classroom as a normal room, and we aren't going to do any teaching in it. So if you see that you want to go to the, actually, you know what? I'll just rename it as one, so you guys know that it's just a normal room. Uh, and thanks, Angela, for that. Really appreciate it. And it's always nice speaking to everyone, and also just really enjoying the session, having a conversation, listening to other people give insights about new things. It's also nice. It's like a spa, like a mental spa, if that makes any sense. Right, and also right, and Tame and Jiabao, do you guys want to say something? Did you guys want to say something? And also, I'm going to
No.
send.
I just sent a
Okay.
applause
Oh, yeah, that was
emoji
a applause.
to
Would be
me
good.
that you are really impressive.
Thanks. And I'm going to send the Facebook link to you guys in just a bit. And well, today I shared two news stories that I thought was somewhat interesting. I hope that gave you guys at least a starting point for conversation. Also, did you guys talk about anything else interesting? I mean, if you did, that would be great.
Yeah, we talked about the current China 996 working hours.
Yeah.
我毕业了。
What was that about working hours in China?
It's like 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. 6 days a week.
Oh.
To work. The working hours in China.
Yeah,
That's
actually,
long.
yeah, that's long hour. And actually, before I came to Australia, I thought China was the only country doing it. And when I came to Australia, there are big four accounting firms, right? It's KPMG and Deloitte, Pricewaterhouse, something like that. Yeah. In Australia, they also work like 995. It's like 12 hours a day, 5 days a week. And in weekends, yeah, they also offer like improvements on the study. So like in weekends, they also hold the sessions. If the employees they want to come, they can come on weekends. But yeah, and didn't earn a lot. Like accounting firm, the starting pay is like 65K Australian dollars a year. I was like, okay, that's a lot of job to do.
Well, anyway, I've sent the Facebook link into the group, and anyone who wants to get the notes can just get on there and get the notes because we post every session's Chinese notes on there too. And just know that you can get the previous session's notes too on there if you want. Well, anyway, other story time. I'm going to get everyone into breakout room soon, but we can still handle one story or two.
In our group, we spoke about COVID. I know people are probably really bored speaking about COVID, but when I put this thing about Twickenham in the link, did it go to everyone or just the people in the group?
I think maybe you can repost it. So
yeah, I'll repost it because this is the true situation in the UK. Over 40,000 cases on average for the last 4 weeks. There was a rugby match, and you just look at the picture of how many people wear face masks and just compare it to your country. I thought it was quite. So I can get the link in a moment, and I'll put it in the chat if anyone just wants to see the difference.
And also, so I wanted to ask one thing for you guys. Just a sort of census sort of thing. How would you guys feel if I pushed the meeting hour later? Like now it opens at 7 o'clock, but if I were to push it 1 hour further, it would start at 8 o'clock. So 1 hour later for you guys. How would you guys feel about that? I mean, just a question.
Yeah, in Sydney, it's not gonna be good because it will start at like 11.
Yeah, because right now we're trying to get more people from the States areas who where there will be more native English speakers to try to balance out our ecological system. If I mean, I should put it that way. So I was trying to do that, and if it starts at that time, it would be an easier job. But yeah, I know that. Sorry, Harry. We're not going to implement this straight away, and I'm not really sure if we will ever. But still, thanks, Harry, for joining with us all this time. And I'm just going to try to get some data. And if there is anyone else here who feels that it's just too late,
maybe we can we can start a questionnaire, maybe like and you can do a statistics, maybe
yeah,
something
probably.
like that.
Can we do that
Yeah,
in the
you could do
WeChat
a
group?
poll.
Yeah,
send
there
out
could probably be a
You could
poll.
send out a poll.
Yeah. We can do
In
a
my
poll.
case, it makes no difference to me time-wise.
Oh yeah, right. You're
if you want to send
England.
Because I think for those from California, it's so early. Like Daniel, he needs to get up very early in the morning.
Yeah, that's true. And if we push the time back a little bit, those who are in the States, and I wish there would be more eager American people who are learning Chinese because, like I said, we're trying to get the ecology and balance of the group with somewhat equal Chinese learning people and equal English learning people with English and Chinese proficiencies. That would be great. So I was just trying to perhaps change for that. But anyway, I'll try to get a census, or poll in the WeChat groups and in the Facebook group, or later. Anyway. Okay, so I'll get everyone into breakout rooms now and have fun. The meeting still can last for quite a while, and I hope you guys had a good time. Right now, I'm just going to finish my dinner, which I still haven't finished, and it's 9, and I have some homework to do, science projects to finish, and it's 9. So I gotta hurry up. Well, thanks everyone for coming, and I'll see you guys next time.
Shay, Jerry.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good luck with the.
Thank you, Jerry.
估计还有一些人他们家乡。